Well, I have been interviewing this gentleman for many years and always for volunteer work. So it was no-brainer that we would make Tony Colombo our volunteer of the week for this week. He is now a Hazelton City Councilman, he works for PennDOT, and somehow, in amidst all of this, he does extreme amount of volunteering on a regular basis. And Tony, first of all, I want to say congratulations. I know you've been a volunteer with fire companies throughout the area, the Heights, the city, West Hazelton. You've been doing so much good work for over the years. The 9/11 Memorial is a permanent memorial up outside of Holy Rosary Church. You were involved in that, and you've made sure that to this day we have a 9/11 memorial service each and every year here in Hazelton with strong ties to New York City.
Yes, we started that the year right after the first year, and Father Pat and I, we talked, we have to do something. We will never forget that horrible day, and that monument will go on long after I'm gone. I hope someone takes over and just remembers those poor souls that died that day.
Absolutely. And I commend you for that alone, that you've done that for the city, but you've done so much more for our area as well. One of the things that really, stay with me as well is that there was a fatal fire, unfortunately, in Hazelton. You wanted a monument for the 2 children that were killed in that fire, so tell us about that.
Well, we had a fire up on 5th Street up by St. Joe's Church and School several years ago that 2 little boys were perished. It was a horrible day, horrible evening that night. We lost 2 little boys, and what the fire department did, we've adopted the family. And we got real close with the family. We had the service when we buried the 2 little boys, and we weren't done yet. We said, we got to do something to remember these 2 little boys, because the one little boy was, prior to that, was Fire Safety Week, and he told one of our guys that he wanted to be a firefighter. So we took it on and we raised money, and we actually dedicated a tombstone memorial marker up at St. Gabriel Cemetery. And God rest his soul, Father Pat came with us, and we walked from Holy Rosary Church up Poplar Street to the cemetery and had a whole dedication. We had the bagpiper, the whole 9 yards, and dedicated to these little boys. And since then, the Sanders family, we've been real close. And we just did our Easter dinner, and the little boys, they left, Mom and Dad came, Uncle Tony's here. And the kids, we just loved them, and they loved the fire department. So it was something good came out of something bad.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you made reference to the Easter dinner, so that's one of the dinners that you've been involved with helping out as well, because we know there's a Thanksgiving dinner, a Christmas dinner in our community, free to those in need or those who just want company, and you helped get started the Easter dinner because you said what?
7 years ago, I was sitting in the back of Holy Rosary Church with Father Pat, and I had an idea in this little head of mine, and he said, what's your idea? I said, well, Father, Christmas that people eat, Thanksgiving they eat. I said, what do they do on Easter? Nobody's open. Where do they turn? Meals on Wheels doesn't deliver. What are we going to do? He said, well, it's Holy Week, so we can't have it here. He said, but knowing you and Joe Bugden, you will get it done. Well, we reached out to Neil Alberto at Catholic Social Services, and we've had the first dinner there, and now it's 7 years later, and it's getting bigger and stronger each year. This year we plated 1,000 meals between deliveries and sit-in.
Wow, that's fabulous. There's so much more I could talk to this gentleman about. I just want to make quick reference. I know you've helped out with flood victims in Chickashinny. Anytime there was a hurricane anywhere, you packed a truck and sent down supplies. If you know a Tony Colombo like this, someone else who does a lot for the community, please email me at lisa@ssptv.com, and we would like to honor your nominee as our Volunteer of the Week.